Whenever you're ready.
So most of you know me, some better than others, but I bet none of you are expecting what I'm about to talk to you about. Who would have thought that your middle school class clown would be up here telling you a story about 19th century literature and how it relates to our transition into the future? With that being said, like most of you, many months ago I sat as a junior in Cam's American Literature class, where I was introduced to the mystical realm of transcendentalism. To me, at first glance, Emerson, Whitman, and Thoreau sounded like a bunch of hippies who claimed to be natural as an excuse to live out in a deserted cabin, experiment with the natural drugs that the earth provided for them, and write down their hastily prepared rants on society. This was, I must admit, a harsh and extremely naive judgment. Quickly I relearned the age-old lesson that first impressions are not all that they seem, and these wise old men still had some tricks up their sleeves, or, since we're being technical, bones. Still, for a while, I wasn't convinced. Flipping through transcendental selections in chronological order, we first explored Emerson's work and were exposed to his reflective observations. Do not go where the path may lead, go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. The headstrong teenage mindset I had at the time, and admittedly still struggle with, passed this wonderful advice off as cliche. It was pointless encouragement from an antique mindset. Of course, everyone wants to blaze his or own trail. Of course, we don't want to go along in life blindly following the easy path that is laid out for us, right? This seemed abundantly clear to me, but in growing up since that class and getting ready to turn a new page in my life, I have come to see otherwise. All of us are High-Tech High International seniors, yet we do not fit the same mold. We are not now, nor will ever be, cookie-cutter individuals. Each one of us will blaze a trail that will lead to our own self-fulfillment. This is exactly what Emerson was saying, but I was too childish to see it. And as I see now, the potential of each of us shines boldly and brightly in every face of every High-Tech High International graduating senior. Next in our distinguished lineup of transcendentalists was the plump, the portly, yet the ever-endearing Walt Whitman. Once we got over the jokes about the hot new 19th century bachelor that he was, we were able to really dive headfirst into his work. He was by far the most gregarious of the three, and I felt more at home with his literature. As we read, we discovered his musings that could only be attributed to his age. According to Walt, a well-fought fight always ends in looking toward the future. As he said, keep your face always towards the sunshine, and the shadows will fall behind you. Peppy and sickeningly optimistic, this one sticks in my mind purely for the realization, the sometimes scarily overwhelming realization, that once we emerge from the bubble of High-Tech High International, we are, and yes, I will use the most widely overused phrase, in the real world. There is no turning back. As much as we all hate to admit it, we will not have this place and these people to cling to any longer. At some point, we are going to need brightness in our lives, and each of us will be the one to turn on the light for ourselves. And that is why we walk across the stage towards the sunshine, or in this case, the metaphorical sunshine that San Diego bipolar weather has provided for us, with our experiences and friendships made at High-Tech High International behind us, supporting us merely a shadow of all that we have come to learn and love here. Last and surely not least, well, last in my mind for a while, there was Henry David Thoreau. I especially loved to hate Thoreau. The very sight of his name under the title of a text made me cringe. Once again, at first glance, I found his ramblings to be just that, unsupported rants against society that I was being forced to study and appreciate as remarkable literature. But in the maturity I have gained from my years at High-Tech High, it has turned me 180 degrees. His ideas speak so beautifully to the transitionary period we all feel and to the emotions that fled with the commencement of 4 years as a community together. Instead of looking back on this day with sadness of an end, we must look ahead to use all we have gained here to support our future endeavors and allow us to be the best humans that we can possibly be. As Thoreau said, go confidently in the direction of your dreams, live the life you have imagined. As much as it seemed like so much more, High-Tech High International was just one of many stepping stones for all of us in the path that our life is going to take. We must not forget our time here, the lessons learned, the overwhelming stress, the triumphs, the disappointments, and the happiness. Take all that we have gathered and move forward. As everyone here has said today, we have an untapped potential that resides in each of us. Don't be afraid to use it.